Hey Discovery, thanks for joining us for another midweek devotional. And we're in a series called The Revealing Truth. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about what Chris talked about on Sunday, and that is giving God first place. And that's really what tithing does, is it shows that God is first in our lives, in our finances. This is a quote I came across a few weeks ago. It says, "Until Jesus is first in your finances, Jesus isn't first." It is the revealing truth. Who is first in your finances? And a couple other things that Chris said tithing reveals, I thought it was really good. He said, tithing reveals ownership. It reveals who we really believe owns our stuff. Is it God and we're just stewards, or is it our stuff and we're going to do with it what we want to do? Tithing puts our trust in God and reveals that He is the owner of all that we have. The second thing it reveals is obedience. And that's really the revealing truth. Are we obeying God in every area of our life? And the main area is our finances. Jesus said in Matthew 6, where your treasure is, that's where your heart will also be. So are we obeying Him with our finances? And then the third was faithfulness. Tithing reveals faithfulness. Do you follow God in every area of your life? Because usually our finances are private, and people don't know necessarily if you tithe or not. It's between you and God, as it should be. But are you faithful in that area? So another thing he said is how we behave is determined by what we believe. And I would add this distinction to it. How we behave is determined by what we really believe, not what we say we believe. Because we can say a lot of things, but it's how you act. You're going to act according to what your true beliefs are. And I wanted to make this distinction, and it is this, that tithing is not a salvation issue, it's a trust issue. Do I trust God with the most, the thing that's closest to me or most important to me? And maybe it's not the most important, but you understand what I mean, is with this thing that is in my life, do I trust Him in every area? Or do I believe that my plan is better than God's plan? One thing that I've noticed with people that tithe, all tithers say this, they say, I am blessed. And another thing I've noticed with people that don't tithe, if I find out or they tell me they don't tithe, and they usually say they don't tithe because they can't afford it. And Chris even addressed that on Sunday. He said, you really don't know if you haven't tithed because you haven't given God the opportunity to prove Himself. And so, I said this a couple years ago when I was teaching on tithing. I said, you'll never be able to tithe or be able to afford to tithe until you tithe. Because what tithing does, according to Malachi, is it removes the curse off of your finances and it releases God's blessing so that the 90% that's left over can do more than the 100% when you keep it all to yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Test God in this. Give Him an opportunity to prove Himself to you when it comes to tithing. Hey, I hope that helps. I hope it challenges you, and we look forward to seeing you this Sunday.